So you're feeling a little messy, a little overwhelmed, a little lost right now. Trust me, I've been there. We all have. I still go there sometimes. I know how it feels when everyone else has their together and you're just stuck wondering what the is wrong with me. The truth is, nothing is wrong with you. Life is just hard and we're all figuring it out as we go. Today, I want to talk to you about something that has helped me cope with those really hard days. It's something that my therapist taught me, which is your emotional toolbox. Nothing fancy or complicated. It's just a small collection of things I do to help me feel a little more steady when everything else feels kind of crazy. So let's talk about it. And no judgment, no pressure, just honest sharing. So what is an emotional toolbox, you might be asking? Picture it like a go-to for simple, comforting habits. Maybe it's a short breathing exercise to calm your anxiety, a playlist that helps with your mood, or a journal to turn to when you want to just get it out. These aren't magic fixes, but think of them as a helping hand when you are struggling to catch your breath. Look, no one is born knowing how to handle the emotional roller coaster of being human. We are not taught this in school, and we are all just learning as we go. So we're kind of picking and choosing tools that work for us along the way. One day it might be deep breathing, and maybe it could be calling a friend who gets it. Over time, you start to build this toolbox and have more and more tools that you can grab when needed. Life is going to keep throwing us curveballs, so the more prepared we are, the better we can handle it. You're not totally empty-handed. I have had tons of recent struggle, and it's one of those moments where you can't get out of bed and you feel like everything has compiled your work and your family and your relationships and just like your path in life, and figuring out what is right and what's not, and it all hits at once. I used to just spend my whole day letting myself spiral. Sometimes it could take hours or even days, sometimes even weeks. I used to spend hours beating myself up for feeling a certain way and beat myself up for not just snapping out of it. And I have learned to not shame myself and just be kind to myself. So now instead, I reach inside my toolbox and I grab whatever tool I need for that moment. And usually my intuition will lead me in the right direction. Actually, every single time this will happen. And it doesn't matter if it's a few deep breaths, if it's just to remind myself that I'm safe, I don't need to panic. There are tons of different tools that I use. And the point is to just get you set up with your own emotional toolbox. So then you know now that you can start to add things into the toolbox. You could even just simply write down a couple of things that you're grateful for, and it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. It could be laying in your warm bed, having a cup of tea with a parent or a friend, even a friend or a loved one texting you good morning. You could be grateful for that. Most importantly, just allow yourself permission to be human and to feel the emotions that come with that. Whether you need to let yourself cry, scream into a pillow, go for a jog, play with your dog, whatever you need to do, find something that works and go to that. You might need to just grab a journal or a piece of paper and get out whatever is in your head so that you can move on and release it. And then as you start to figure out what works for you, you can continue to add more things into your toolbox and use them. So you could choose like meditation, something as simple as a guided meditation, and start small. I remember when I started really slow. I remember I started with 5 minutes. And then once I could do that, I stretched it to 10 minutes and then 15 and so on, to a point where I was spending 30 to 45 minutes every single day without fail doing some type of self-improvement activity, whether that was journaling, reading a book, listening to a podcast, meditating, self-reflection in whatever form is going to create a better reality for you. It's all about the awareness. And also, therapy is a great solution if you're having a really tough time. And I personally feel like every single person as a human on this earth should be required to go through therapy at least once in their life. But sadly, that is not a requirement at this point in time. So please don't be ashamed of reaching out to get help in whatever way that feels right for you. There are tons of different types of therapists, and it doesn't necessarily mean if one doesn't work out for you that they're all in the can. Because the reality is there is definitely a type of therapist or a type of healer in some way who can help you, and you just have to search for the right things. But the most important thing is just saying no to the things that drain your energy and that continue to bring you down. Your challenge this week is to find one tool that is working well for you, share what it is in the comments below, and just stick to that one thing. If it works, then just keep doing that and then slowly bring in other things. Don't try to switch it up too much. Just get used to bringing one thing in at a time, and then as you feel like you need to incorporate more, do so. The point is not to fix everything. It's just to give you a little sense of relief. And with these tools adding up, you will start to feel more and more supported. Give yourself credit for the effort and for showing up and being curious about this. Having self-awareness and improving that self is so key for us to become better as people for this world, for ourselves most importantly, so that we can show up for the ones that we love. Look, we're all dealing with our own shit. Me, you, everyone, and that's okay. The point is not to be perfectly fine all the time. It's to gently guide you through difficult times and tough moments. You might find that in those moments you bounce back a little bit faster and you handle those heavy feelings a little bit better. I would love to know what tool you're using this week. Share down below in the comments section and send this to the people who need an emotional toolbox. I promise you they won't be mad. This is a tool that is going to help them. And what we're doing is we're giving them a place and giving you a place to put all of your tools. It's so that you can go in and grab the tools that you need when you need them, when you're in any type of emotional discomfort. This works, I'm telling you. Definitely send to anybody who could find this helpful. We can support each other. Subscribe, like this video, comment down below. Thank you so much for being here. Many blessings, and remember, all the love that you need is within and everything else is extra.